What is going on, guys? Noah Brewer here, back again with another video, and today we're going to be talking about 3 secret tips that you can use to massively improve your product page. Now, this is not going to only improve the look of your store, but it is also going to improve your conversion rate, and I've proven this through testing it myself. These 3 things, I don't necessarily do every single one of them on every single product that I test, but I try to. It is a little bit tedious, but when you find yourself that one banger product that you just know that you need to test because you think it is super good, these are great things to do to just increase the chances of it working. And if it does work, this will increase your ability to actually turn it into a brand and something that's going to be sustainable long term. So let's get right into these tips. So the first thing that I want to say is your product and your advertisement are always going to be the number one determining factor when it comes to you being able to find a winning product. I am not a big advocate of trying to shine a piece of shit and try to make a bad product sell good. Ideally, this is a way to make a good product sell even better. Keep that in mind when you're going through this video, that this is not like a cure for all bad products, and it's not a magic thing that's going to make any product sell. All it's doing is it's shining up a product that's already good and making it a little bit better. Like I said, it doesn't hurt to have a really nice product page either way, and the things that I'm going to show you in this video will definitely help increase your conversion rate and your chances of finding a winner. And not only that, but once you do find a winner, it'll make it easier and smoother to transition into a brand, something that'll be sustainable long term. So the number one tip is kind of a quick one, and it's something that I've mentioned before on this channel and something that you may see me do a lot, and that's giving your product a custom, clever name of some sort. So if you have a product, don't just call it what it is. Give it some sort of clever name, whether it's funny, punny, or serious. There's some really fun product names out there. I'm sure that you've all seen them when you go to the store or maybe you're on TV. So I like to do this when drop shipping because I think it adds like that branded feel, and it almost separates you from all the other people that are selling the product. And me personally, it kind of gives me a vehicle to let out some of my puns or some of my jokes. And most of my product names actually come off as pretty funny or clever or something like that. So this is really, really good to do, and you'll see why in the next secret, because it comes in handy down the road as well. But I have a picture on the screen. You can see like right off the gate, just in the product title, it makes your product page look so much cleaner. Instead of just having lucid dream inducing mask, now it says sleepy dreams, and I added a little trademark logo and then lucid dream inducing mask. So it just adds a little bit of spice, it's super simple but super effective, and I think it goes a long way. And if you're not doing this is probably one of the easiest things to do on this list, so I would highly recommend that you start naming your products. And then in terms of actually using your product name, use it everywhere. Like now that you have it, you can use it in your advertisement, you can use it in your description, in your product page. I have a couple of screenshots of how Sleepy Dreams was implemented into the homepage and the product description. Instead of saying the world's first sleep-inducing mask, I said world's first Sleepy Dreams, and it just looks way more clean. And then in the product description, you can see that we're talking about the product having rear-facing LEDs, and in that particular example, we use Sleepy Dreams as a way to talk about the product, like as a way to call the product. So this is like a fun way, and obviously this makes your product page look way better. It makes it more fun to read and more custom. It's definitely going to separate you from the competition. The next tip that I'm going to give you is creating a product logo. So now that you have your product name, you can actually create a logo with the product name on it. This is something really, really effective that you can do fairly simply or cheaply. If you don't want to do it yourself, you can hire somebody from Fiverr. The logo that I got for Sleepy Dreams was actually made on Fiverr, but you can easily do this yourself on Canva or paint.net, which if you want paint.net, you can just go to, it's like getpaint.net or something like that. That's personally what I use. It's just what I'm familiar with, but I know a lot of people out there use Canva and it produces like the same result. If not, I think Canva might be a little bit better just because they have better graphics and templates and stuff like that. So whip up a product logo for every product that you test, and there's a few different things that you can do with this and why this is cool to do. Number one is you can put your product logo in your actual advertisement. This is dope, right? Because most people will just put their store logo in the ad, but I think putting the actual product logo in the ad goes a lot farther than your store logo. Number two, making your store logo than the logo of the product. I know that this is crazy, and it only really makes sense to do if your domain is also the name of the product, but this is a really good way to, kind of build one product stores where the domain in your store matches the name of the product, and then you have the logo of the product on the header, and then in your product description and everywhere else you have the name of the product. It's super clean, it looks so good, and usually when we're running ads on TikTok, this is what I do. I've mentioned this before on this channel, and that's adding your logo to the images that are on the product page and in your description. This is super clean, and it definitely separates your store from other people's store, because most dropshipping stores use the same dropshipping images off of AliExpress, but you can add graphics to it if you go into a service like Canva or Paint, and you can actually put your logo in the product images, which you can see an example here on the screen of how much better that looks rather than, just being a white background picture. It now has our store logo on it. And the final tip that I want to put here is actually something that I've never talked about before on this channel, but it's something that I do on almost every single product description that I write, and that's making your product description congruent with the images and GIFs in your description. So obviously I've talked about how it's good to put images and GIFs in your descriptions, but I never really talked about how to do it or the best way to do it. And this is by far the best way to do it. Essentially, your product description should flow like a discussion with the person that's reading the description. So one question that I have for you is, have you ever tried explaining something to a friend and then you're having difficulties explaining it, or they're having difficulties, envisioning what you're talking about? So you just whip out your phone and show them a picture, or you show them a video of what you're talking about. Well, that's kind of how you want your product description to roll. So essentially, you can put a paragraph that explains, oh, our product is red, and then the picture below it would show that your product is red. So let me show you a couple examples here of how you can use congruency in your product descriptions. I think this converts a lot better, guys, and I think that it really engages the reader and keeps them reading the description, which allows you to sell them further. So you can see in the top example here, we have night lights, Sleepy Dreams rear-facing LEDs, serve as your touchstone, yada, yada, yada. And then boom, right below it, we have a picture of the rear-facing LEDs. So instantly they read about it and they're trying to envision in their head what that means, but we already showed them, right? There's already a picture below it, and you can even put a GIF here that, shows the product circling around with the LED showing. You can get really creative and make this look really, really good. And my favorite thing about this tip is that it's super duper functional, and the cooler your product is, the more congruent your description can be. The better your description can be. You can describe really cool features and benefits of the product and then show pictures of those features and benefits right below it, or you can show a GIF of how the product works, something along those lines. And then in the other example here, we have, this little paragraph that talks about how the memory board or whatever inside of the Sleepy Dreams mask is actually flexible, so you don't feel like something hard on your face when you're sleeping. And then right below that, we have a picture of somebody bending the motherboard. So it's kind of funny, but at the same time, it's super congruent, and right away, they're reading about how it's flexible and durable and whatever. And then right under it, we show them a picture of how flexible the motherboard actually is. So I think this is super effective, and that's probably my 3 biggest ways that you can go into your product page right now and massively improve it. Now, obviously, this is a good thing to do before you test the product, because switching all these things mid-test or mid-scale is probably not a good idea. So these are things that you're going to want to do before you actually test a product. But like I said, if you guys have a product that you just know is going to work, or you're super confident in it, or if you want to give it the highest possible chance of working, these are 3 things that you can do that will definitely increase the chances. It'll also make your store as a whole look a lot cleaner. And if the product does end up popping off, you'll be in a way better spot, because it's going to be super easy to transition that product into a branded product. When it comes to private labeling and doing all this stuff, just because your logo's already all over your website, your description, and eventually you can take that extra step, bring your product page to the next level by actually having completely custom images with your logo on the actual product. And that's a whole lot easier to do when you've already been using that same logo for the past couple months or however many sales that you've made. But that's it for this video. I hope it was super valuable for you, and I hope that you guys go out there and take action on these things, because I know that I figured these out purely through experience. A lot of people haven't talked about this type of stuff on their channels, so I wanted to come in and create a discussion about these types of things, like creating a product name, a product logo, and congruency in your product description. I know I usually talk about advertising and marketing, but I thought this was just kind of like a fun way to mix it up. And I also want my clients and students and followers to watch this so that they can learn and implement the same things that I've been implementing to make money on my stores. Of course, if you like this video, leave a like, as it helps me out a lot. And if you want to see more videos like this, smash that subscribe button so that you get notified next time I upload a video, because I upload it every 4 days or so, and I try to put my all into every single video and make sure that it's super valuable for everybody. But that's it for this video. This is Noah Brewer, and I'm out. Peace.